Okay. We'll open up this meeting of the Yamhill County Board of Commissioners formal and informal session for September 3rd of 2020, and we'll begin with a flag salute. And Ken, since you're up here on the dais, can you lead us?
I'd be happy to.
Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ken. And before we go further, I'd like to note that Commissioner Stare is not with us today, and we wish her well out there in the world. So, and maybe a happy birthday, but we'll confirm that before I sing to her. All right, we will move on to public comment, which is item C. And due to COVID-19 and social distancing requirements, anyone wishing to submit general public comment or comments related to specific agenda items may do so in written format by email at bocinfo@co.yamhill.or.us or by mail at 535 Northeast 5th Street, McMinnville, Oregon, 97128. Any comments received prior to the meeting will be shared with the Board of Commissioners and submitted to the record. And we don't have any public comments or comments on agenda items this week. We move on to item D, which is our consent agenda, and we have none today. We move on to item E, which is old business, and we have none today. We move on to item F, which is other business. And item F1 is consideration of approval of a grant application for the Emergency Management Performance Grant Supplemental through the Oregon Office of Emergency Management in the amount of $18,439, retroactive to January 27th, 2020 through January 26th of 2021. And Commissioner Olson, do you have anything you want to, as a liaison to Sheriff's Office?
Yeah, after going through the packet and reading Brian's email, looking at the information he attached with it, I'll just make a recommendation that we approve.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. The record show unanimous approval of item F1. Thank you. And thanks, Sheriff, if you're watching. Item F2 is consideration of approval of an agreement between Yamhill County and Reliant Behavioral Health, LLC, for employee assistance program services, retroactive to September 1st of 2020 through August 31st of 2023. And Ken, do you want to add anything?
This is just one of the programs, one of the benefit programs that we have for employees. And so this was a renewal. This is our EAP program, employee assistance program that offers a lot of services that we provide as an additional as part of the benefit, as part of the benefit package.
All right, great. Thank you very much. Well, I would move approval of item F2 then. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Records show unanimous approval of item F2. Item F3 is consideration of approval of an agreement between Yamhill County Health and Human Services and the McMinnville School District to provide behavioral health counseling services for the 2020-2021 school year in a not to exceed amount of $58,231.26. And in place of Commissioner Stare, do you have anything that you would like to add as
I don't know if I have anything more to add than what Lindsay Manfred prepared in her memo. Again, just a reminder, this is just a continued partnership with the school district.
Yes, exactly.
My only comment is I think this is a very good partnership. I think
is now joining.
when the County Health and Human Services can sign a joint partnership with any of the school districts in the county, we're much better off and they're much better off. So I'll make a motion that we approve the agreement between Yamhill County Health and Human Services and the McMinnville School District to provide behavioral health counseling services for the 2020-2021 school year, not to exceed the amount of $58,231.26.
All right, thank you, Commissioner. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. The records show unanimous approval of item F3 and a continuing partnership with the school district. Item F4 is consideration of ratification of agreement number 165766 between Yamhill County Public Health Division and the Oregon Health Authority, as previously approved by Board Order 19-221 in the amount of $30,627. Retroactive to July 1st of 2020 through June 30th of 2021. And as the board packet indicates, this is the the money, we're accepting the money that we requested the grant for the refrigerated trailer that's been long planned.
And the one thing that Lindsay also shared that I would
Yeah.
also pass along, and the reason we're doing a ratification for this is they actually had a really quick turnaround and requiring signature and approval. So the department director went ahead and signed off on the agreement, and now this is before you for ratification.
Yes, yeah, thank you for that clarification. Yeah, this is an important part of it.
Well, I guess I'm for it. We should ratify because I don't want to make our Health and Human Services Director upset.
Yeah, you need all the public health, we need all the public health support we can.
So I'll make the recommendation that we approve the ratification agreement 165766.
Okay, thank you very much, Commissioner. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. The records show unanimous approval of item F4. Item F5 is consideration of approval to appoint James Craver, a YCEA union representative, to the Employee Safety Advisory Committee for a 3-year term to expire March 18th of 2023. And that's a reappointment as well, too.
Now, I don't have any problem with that. That's a YCEA appointment to the safety committee.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I don't have any problem.
Yeah, and I've only been to one of the safety committee meetings, but he was a very active member, so. All right, well, then I'll move that we approve item F5. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. The record show unanimous approval of item F5. Item F6, consideration of the ratification of the collective bargaining agreement between Yamhill County and Yamhill County Juvenile Detention Workers Association, retroactive to July 1st of 2020 through June 30th of 2023. And thank you for getting us to the stage. Do you have anything you would like to add, Christian?
No, I just want to thank the board for their assistance in getting this contract to resolution. The unit seems happy. I think it's a fair agreement. And yeah, I'm pleased that we're to the point now where we can complete one of the 3 open agreements that we've got.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Did you have anything more you would?
No, thank you to the bargaining team for all their great work on this. I'm very pleased to see that come to agreement on one of the collective pending collective bargaining agreements.
And we're moving forward with
Close.
district attorneys.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And then, yeah, we'll be in mediation with the other one.
Yep.
So.
Okay, great.
Well, I'll go ahead and move that we ratify the collective bargaining agreement between Yamhill County and Yamhill County Juvenile Detention Workers Association, retroactive to July 1st of this year through 3 years from June 2023.
All right, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. The records show unanimous approval of item F6. Great, thank you very much. Item F7 is discussion of Title II funding opportunity for USDA secure and rural schools. And I believe I forwarded on, or maybe I forwarded to Ken to forward to you, the notice of funding opportunity. And it's really, as you probably saw, it's a pretty short window that the USDA has opened it for. So it's, an application is due by the 30th of September. And Ken actually has some experience with it, having applied for funding to replace a bridge, I believe, in a park.
Correct.
Yeah.
Unsuccessfully.
I was not planning on saying that part.
Right. Yeah, and it's just something with the Title II funds, as you know, there are several different sections when it comes to the Secure and Rural Schools Act. And with the Title II funds, they have some specific criteria, one, direct connectivity, or the project's actually taking place on federal lands, and there's an application process for getting those approvals. So it's not to be confused with the Title III funds that we have, these are Title II. We also receive Title III funds on, hopefully on occasion and we budget for those and we hold those for search and rescue and specific criteria that's eligible for Title III, but this is another one of those program areas. So
yeah, and what I wanted to just provide the opportunity for any kind of brainstorming or project ideas it seems like a good opportunity, considering that we have public lands in the county that are somewhat accessible. It's a good opportunity to highlight those public lands if we have a project. So,
Well, and I have to agree with you, because I think there's, if you look at some of the schools around the county, and Ken talked a little bit about the direct connectivity.
Mhm.
I think where there's several opportunities where we can improve the connectivity from residential neighborhoods and everything in some of the small cities and in the county directly, to make it easier for our students to get to school safely. So.
Another project category. So there's the one that's about access and improvement of federal lands, and that would be things like, I asked Weyerhaeuser if they would be interested in doing they open one of the gates where county road ends and their property begins to access public lands in exchange for garbage patrol, that kind of like funding for specific things. But that would improve direct access. But there's another category that's improving, and so then you can also put improving trail networks in there too. So there's a couple of trail networks up there in the mountains that could be improved with the funding. But then there's also enhancing wildlife habitat and improving watershed health. And I learned that the Greater Yamhill Watershed Council obtained funding through last year's cycle of Title II to remove a fish passage barrier culvert in Polk County with a fish passage allowing culvert style. And so that's a project that I think it was BLM partnered on, and Watershed Council, and then Polk County. So Director Lago and I are in conversation. There's a couple of culverts that actually need to be replaced and have to go through the whole fish passage barrier work. And so having funding opportunity for that work part of the funding would really help. And in the case of the culvert in Polk County, it's actually the design work, all the technical stuff is being done by the BLM, so it doesn't even count towards the funding. So there's some opportunities. Director Log and I were talking about it with Bill Gilly to see whether we could actually get something in time, because it is a short process, right?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah,
And
I'm certainly for, because of the options we have, I'm certainly for applying for the grant, and whether we're successful or not.
Yeah.
I think applying for the grant is important.
Yeah. Okay. And I've reached out to both BLM and Weyerhaeuser about different things. So we'll see. I wanted to bring it up, but it's not a lot of money relative to other fund sources, but it's a way, I think, to increase the county's partnership with some of these agencies and companies. All right. And then I actually need to put an item 8, F8 on here.
Are we going to formally approve that?
The F7, I don't know if there's an action necessarily.
I think if there is an actual grant application or a proposal that's prepared and brought forward, at that point, that's when the board would consider it and take action on it.
That's right. And then I wanted to add an item F8, which by our ordinance 900, if somebody has voted in the majority on a decision from the previous meeting, they can bring it back up for a vote. And I know it sounds funny, but I want to bring back up for a vote, formal vote, the project prioritization list for EDA. And the reason I need to do that is that I neglected to declare a potential conflict of interest, because the Amity-Dayton infrastructure or broadband infrastructure is one of the things on the list. The other one was expanding broadband around the whole county. So that one would, anybody in the rural areas would potentially have potential conflict of interest. But I did want to note that before. It seems funny, but I realize that's the process that we could do because it's an action of the county.
And since you voted in the majority.
Yeah. So I checked in with Christian, and I checked in with Ken to make sure that was the proper way to do it. But so if you're amenable to it, what I would say is that I move that we approve the Yamhill County's project prioritization list to be submitted to the Council of Governments for the Economic Development Administration, previously voted upon last week, with the caveat that I would like to declare a potential conflict of interest because of the potential to benefit financially from expanded internet in our area. Whew, it was a long motion. And it does not preclude me from being able to vote and participate in discussions.
Well, I will accept Commissioner Kula's item number 8, revoting on the rural broadband for the Amity. They nearing our project list that goes to COG for the to include Casey's potential conflict of interest. So I'll make that motion.
Okay, thank you. Yes, and it would be again, it's the same list, no changes. All right, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Let the record show unanimous approval of item F8, also I'll call it. Okay, thanks. I'm learning. And sometimes it's hard to remember that any action. We will move on to item G, which is public hearings, and item G1 is consideration of authorizing the issuance, sale, execution, and delivery of revenue and refunding bonds for the Linfield University project in the aggregate principal amount not exceeding $65 million and approving an intergovernmental agreement. And Christian.
Did we want folks who were here to come up to the microphone? Is that what those chairs are for?
They can.
If you guys wouldn't mind coming up, you can take some
And
seats right there in
welcome and
case
thank you
get
for your
anything to say.
patience.
So yeah, this is a required hearing as part of the issuance of bonds by the county as the conduit finance issuer on behalf of the university. We've got some representatives from the university and bond council here, so I'll let folks introduce themselves. I'm not sure, Carolina, who else is on Teams.
Do we need to open the hearing?
All right, we will open hearing G1.
Thank you. So go ahead.
Mary Ann Rodriguez, I'm the CFO for the college, for Linfield University. And Paul Schoen is here, he's the controller for the college as well.
Great, welcome.
That's right, we still call it
College, university, I'm getting used to it.
Yeah, you corrected yourself very quickly. And then on the call, we have.
Go ahead, Mike.
And Mike Strader, for
Eli Chargewater, underwriter, keeping capital markets.
Jim Shannon, the council of the university.
All right.
Did you hear all those?
We got
So
them.
Mike is our bond counsel, Ela is with KeyBank.
Yeah.
And then Jim is the university's counsel.
General counsel.
So, and folks are here to discuss any questions or provide additional information to the board regarding the hearing and the bond issuance. So, and it doesn't look like we have anyone here from the public, but it's probably best if you just ask if there's anyone else here who wants to speak to the.
There you
To the
go. That
public
would be part
hearing.
of the hearing. Is there anyone else here who'd like to speak in addition to the folks who are here representing Linfield University? And
We did not receive any written comment.
okay, great. Commissioner, do you have questions?
Actually, I think this is much like George Fire. I think this is since it's really no financial burden on the county, and it's really to allow Linfield College, or Linfield University, which is one of our major partners in Yamhill County, to take advantage of the things they want to do. I'm a firm believer in this program.
Okay. Is there anything, since you are here with us in person, is there anything you would love to add?
I don't know, I just think it's an opportunity for us at the university to, as you read in the documents, not only are we refunding some of our current bonds, but we're also in the process of building a new science complex. And this will give us the opportunity to have a LEAP gift from Tech Foundation, which is it's the first one that they've had, that Keck has given outside of California. And so having this gift at the university is absolutely incredible for us. And so this would give us the opportunity to build that building with these additional funds.
Great, thank you. Bond counsel, do you have anything you would like to add?
I'll get myself off mute.
Okay.
So this looks very much like conduit issues you've done previously for block state through your hospital degree for French UMass, a standard undertaken through the county for the benefit of the university, which allows the university to access the tax credit.
Great, thank you. Representative from Key Bank, that I apologize, I didn't hear your name. Would you like to add anything?
Sure. This is Elon Afshar, for Managing Director at KeyBank Capital Markets. I'm once again excited to be working with the university. I've worked on their launch on financing. This is going to be a critical project and get this nice economic build, but also unique opportunity to utilize the investment grade rating they just had confirmed by Moody's to take advantage of today's interest rate environment and build out a manageable long-term debt service structure.
Great, thank you very much. General Counsel for Linfield University, would you like to add anything?
No, I have nothing to add at this time.
Okay, great. Didn't want to leave you out.
And I circulated the final ratings opinion from Moody earlier this week, confirming what Elia said. That was a significant step in this process. So unless there are any other questions from the board about that, or other questions about the hearing or the issuance generally, I'm probably ready to consider a vote.
Yeah. Do you have any more?
No more questions.
Okay, I don't have any more questions. Thank you to the whole team for working on this project. Well, then I would move.
Well, do you want
Yes.
to close the hearing?
Oh, we have to close it before. All right, well, I will close that hearing.
You can deliberate and make a motion and vote.
I think we heard everything we really needed to hear and read everything we really needed. Again, I totally agree with this type of a program. So therefore, unless you have any comments, Commissioner Pugh, I'll make a recommendation that we authorize authorize the issuance, sale, execution, and delivery of revenue and refunding bonds for the Linfield University project in the aggregate principal amount not exceeding $65 million and approving an intergovernmental agreement.
All right, thank you, Commissioner, and thanks for all of your work, especially.
The only other
Christian.
thing I would add is that intergovernmental agreement is between Yamhill County and Multnomah County, because
Yeah.
some of this money is going to be
Correct.
used on the Linfield property that is located in Multnomah County. So they will be having a similar action by their board
Yeah,
as
Okay,
part of this
I will
process.
go ahead and add.
Oh, you did?
yeah,
You did.
it's
I
the
sorry.
intergovernmental agreement.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, that's the intergovernmental
that's the
agreement.
Multnomah
Mentioned
to
earlier.
county.
Correct.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, well, thank you. And all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, same sign. The records show unanimous approval of item G1. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Yes,
everybody.
Thank you for all of your work.
Yeah,
Thank you
thanks,
for
Mike.
joining us.
And keep up
All
the
right.
good work.
Well, we will move on to item H, which is announcements
is
today.
now exiting.
Mary just coming in or just going off?
I think that was the one of the
Jim Shannon.
Is now exiting.
well, wait a minute.
What?
One more.
Is now exiting.
All right,
All
we
right.
got it.
I really don't have too many more agreements. I did send Commissioner Pugh, as requested in our last town hall, an actual copy of the press release that Representative David Rock-Smith put out. And the actual letter itself, I have it, or if I can't find it, I'll just make that into a PDF document that you can send out to everybody on the town hall. So,
Perfect. And I want to say thank you for continuing to join us on the roundtable.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, sometimes it's called for yours, Casey.
And I hope to get Director Manfred on the Tuesday one to give us an update from the public health perspective. So
Yeah, I
got that
can,
request out
I
there.
can say that having Kurt Van Bergen, having Brian on those, the last couple of calls has been very, very helpful regarding
Yeah.
ballot returns and collections and the way our ballot system works and everything, and the whole box situation. And I think would be beneficial, I say, to have Lindsay on a couple, and as we go forward, to include even like Mark Lago about what's happening with in the county, what's happening with our roads and the funding we've applied for, and those sorts of things.
Yeah, definitely. And I think along those lines, we're planning on recommencing department updates. Was you were going to say?
I was going to say as a segue, is I was going to reach out to department heads, and we were going to start revisiting the schedule, and was going to ask that departments start coming and making regular updates to the board.
Yeah.
As long as we maintain all the requirements we have, I don't have any problem. It's good. Actually, I think it's a good idea, Ken.
Yeah, definitely. And the departments that I'm not the direct liaison to, it'll be nice to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know the assessor and I have talked about that, and he thinks it'd be very beneficial. Also, the sheriff thinks it'd be very beneficial along with the district attorney.
Yes. All right. Anything else, Commissioner?
I don't have anything else.
Okay. Well, I learned, I reached out to ODOT director about bypass stuff. And Travis Brower, who's one of the assistant directors now. I didn't realize, I think he was our region manager,
At one time,
right?
yes, Travis
Okay.
was our region.
And he is gathering together cost estimates for, both for basically what's remaining and needs to be paid for on
Finish
phase two.
and then-
Yeah.
then-
And so he's expecting that those numbers will be in a much more solid form by October. And then he's ready to have a meeting with county leaders and Parkway Committee.
Yeah.
And
Dave Hagenberg on top of
The lobbyists.
Mountain up in Steens.
Mhm.
I wasn't up there with them, of course, but we haven't discussed that what the state's doing.
good.
And that's why I still think it's very important that when COG, since MWAC identified that as
Yeah.
a priority project, and then when it goes to COG, it's very important that COG identifies that as a priority project, because it will help with financing for both the state and federal government.
Right. And along those lines, we should, since we agreed to this, we should send a letter of support to ODOT regarding the Perrydale intersection in Polk County.
Yeah,
I just
we-
remembered that we talked about that
Yeah,
last
I'm
week.
waiting for Commissioner Wardhorse
Okay,
to send me a little bit more detailed information, and then hopefully I'll have it by next week, and we could actually act on it next week.
perfect. In other ODOT news, the ODOT is convening all the stakeholders, or many of the stakeholders involved in deciding whether to designate West Side Road as the truck bypass, the through truck. All right. So the first meeting is September 29th. And they will get a very clear sense of how communities are feeling about it.
Yeah, not good. The county doesn't feel good. That road will break down so fast, and the truck bypass.
It will cost a lot to get it up to the standards necessary and then maintain it at that
Well, I think at
standard.
one of the town halls they had in Carlton regarding, the routes through Carlton, I think, and I don't know who the ODOT rep was there,
Mhm.
but he kind of made it perfectly clear as it ain't gonna happen. But I think us putting out that,
Yeah.
saying how we feel about it, and you being on that call, very, very critical.
Yeah, and Director Lago is going to speak. ODOT is doing, each stakeholder group
Yeah.
has one speaker, and so Director Lago is going to speak. But we're going to have our road supervisors, our county engineer, sheriff, and me, and Director Lago there for the county, or we should say there for the county.
Would that bother the farmers too? Because I mean, let's face it, all the way from West Side and Meadow Lake,
Mhm.
all the way into McMinnville is basically farm both sides of the whole
Yeah.
corridor. So,
Yeah, I mean, really from Moores Valley all the way.
Yeah, Moores Valley all
Yeah.
the way.
Yeah. There are some safety improvements, significant safety improvements that would help especially farm and log truck
Oh,
traffic
no
on that,
question.
that the county is would be challenged to pay for. That, you know, I think if there's a lot of money that could be put into the road, I could see staff being comfortable with it. But I think it'll take a lot.
Take a lot.
Yeah, you know, some of those blind corners and blind hills, right? You know about all
I know
these.
all about it.
Yeah, yeah. So that'll be the first meeting to determine whether there's any interest. Yeah.
If they were to do that, they'd be better off basically going right next to West Side Road and building a whole new road and then taking West Side Road out, because that's what it's basically going to cost them.
It'll be another parallel road.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will keep you posted
Okay.
on that one. I feel like there was something else along those lines. No, I think that's it for me. Christian, do you have anything you'd like to
I
add?
do not, thank you.
Okay. Carolina?
No.
Ken?
I do not.
Okay. Thank you. Well, with that, I will close this meeting of the Anthem County Board of Commissioners.
Thanks, Casey.